Today, I want to share a powerful story that will move your heart, awaken your mind, and remind you why giving up is never an option. This is not just a story about fame or comedy. This is the journey of a man who transformed pain into laughter and struggle into greatness. He was more than an actor and more than a comedian. He became a symbol of hope, creativity, and perseverance for the entire world. His name is Sir Charles Spencer Chaplin, known to all of us simply as Charlie Chaplin. No one else has ever walked his path. No one else has ever touched so many hearts without speaking a single word. His films have no borders, no language limits, and no expiration date. Even today, long after his time, his work still makes us laugh, still makes us cry, and still teaches us how powerful the human spirit can be. This is not just a story to listen to. It is a journey through pain, rejection, poverty, success, loss, and immortality. Watch until the end, because this story will not only help you improve your English, but it may also change the way you see life. Charlie Chaplin was born in London, England, on April 16, 1889, into a world that showed little kindness to poor children. His parents, Hannah Chaplin and Charles Chaplin Sr., were performers who lived for the stage, entertaining audiences with songs and theater, but behind the curtain, their lives were unstable and fragile. Charlie's father struggled with alcohol and eventually left the family, disappearing from his young son's life and leaving behind pain and uncertainty. His mother, Hannah, was left alone to raise Charlie and his older half-brother, Sidney, and despite her talent, money was never enough. They lived in extreme poverty, moving from one small room to another, always afraid of being thrown out, always unsure where the next meal would come from. Some nights, there was no food at all, and Hannah would pretend to eat so her children could have a little more, hiding her hunger behind a forced smile. Charlie was still a child, yet he was already learning what survival meant. Even in hardship, he found small moments of joy, because children, no matter how poor, still search for reasons to smile. He loved watching his mother perform, sitting backstage and dreaming of the day he might stand under the lights himself. Then tragedy struck again. One night, while performing on stage, Hannah suddenly lost her voice. She tried to sing, but no sound came out. The audience became angry. They shouted, threw objects, and demanded she leave the stage. In that moment of chaos, something unexpected happened. A small 5-year-old boy walked onto the stage. It was Charlie. He sang. He danced. He smiled. The audience laughed, clapped, and cheered. For the first time, Charlie felt the magic of making people happy, and deep inside, he realized that the stage was where he belonged. But life did not become easier. Years of poverty and stress slowly destroyed Hannah's mental health, and she was eventually taken to a mental hospital. Charlie and Sidney were left alone, without parents, money, or protection. They became children of the streets, wandering London, searching for food, warmth, and safety. Charlie was sent to workhouses, harsh places where poor children were forced to work in exchange for shelter. He was only 7 years old. Sometimes he was separated from his brother, facing fear and loneliness alone. When he returned to his mother, her condition had worsened, and often she did not even recognize him. Yet even in this darkness, Charlie carried something powerful inside him, a dream. He wanted to perform. He wanted to make people laugh. He wanted to turn pain into joy. As a child, he worked wherever he could, washing dishes, delivering newspapers, and doing small jobs just to survive. But whenever he saw performers on the streets, something inside him came alive. He joined them, copying movements, practicing comedy, and learning through observation. At first, people ignored him, but Charlie never stopped. Slowly, people began to notice. They laughed. They stayed. At 14, Charlie was given his first real opportunity with a performance group called the 8 Lancashire Lads. It was not glamorous, but it was a beginning. He practiced endlessly, learned every detail, and gave everything he had. By 16, he earned a major role in the play Sherlock Holmes, and suddenly doors began to open. Directors noticed his unique expressions, his physical storytelling, and his ability to communicate emotion without words. In 1910, Charlie traveled to America with Fred Karno's comedy company, crossing the ocean toward a future he could only imagine. America felt alive with possibility, and soon in 1913 Keystone Studios offered him a small role in silent films. Charlie saw his chance. He created a character unlike any other. A small man with oversized clothes, a tiny mustache, a hat, and a walk the world would never forget. At first, people were confused. Then they fell in love. Within a few years, the poor boy from London became the biggest star in the world. By 1917, he was earning more than anyone in Hollywood. Yet inside, he remained the same child who once slept hungry on the streets. Charlie wanted creative freedom, so he built his own studio, shocking the film industry. In 1921, he released The Kid, a deeply personal film inspired by his own childhood, blending laughter with heartbreak. The world laughed and cried together, and Charlie proved that movies could change lives. When sound films arrived, everyone told him silent cinema was finished, but Charlie believed emotions were stronger than words. In 1931, he released City Lights, and the final scene became one of the most emotional moments in film history. Later, as war and hatred spread across the world, Charlie used his voice for the first time in The Great Dictator, standing against tyranny and delivering a message of humanity that still echoes today. Because of his independence and beliefs, he was pushed out of America in 1952 and settled in Switzerland, where he lived quietly with his family. Years later, the world realized its mistake, and in 1972, Charlie returned to receive the longest standing ovation in Oscar history. Charlie Chaplin passed away peacefully on Christmas Day in 1977, but his story did not end there. Even after death, his legacy remained powerful, unforgettable, and eternal. Charlie Chaplin's life teaches us that no matter how poor your beginning is, your ending can still be powerful. He proved that laughter can be born from pain, and greatness can rise from nothing. He was not just a man. He was a message. And that message will live forever. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to EnglishOClock, because more stories like this are waiting for you.